14 years. 14 long, grueling years. 14 years Cady had stewed in his cell. 14 years of hate for Sam Bowden. The man who had put him there. The lawyer who had failed him, failed to protect him, failed to see the truth that Cady believed was so clear, failed to see the truth. The truth that Cady was innocent, or so he convinced himself, but Cady saw the truth now. He saw it in the twisted justice system that had wronged him. He saw it in the law books he devoured, each page a revelation, each word a weapon. In the words he taught himself to read, he became his own scholar, his own advocate. Bowden thought he'd seen the last of Max Cady, thought he had buried him in that cell. He was wrong, dead wrong. Cady was not a man to be forgotten. The prison gates swung open. Cady emerged, a man reborn from the ashes of his own rage, a changed man, hardened, sculpted by the fires of his anger, muscles etched with years of anger, each rep, each set a testament to his burning desire for vengeance, eyes burning with a cold fire. He had a plan, a meticulous, calculated plan for revenge, a plan to make Bowden suffer as he had suffered, to make him feel every ounce of pain, a plan to destroy his life, piece by piece. Cady knew Bowden's life. He had studied it like a scholar, his family, his weaknesses, the soft spots that would make him crumble. He had studied them all, learned them, memorized them, every detail, every routine. He knew where they lived, where they went, who they loved, their habits, their secrets, and he would use it all. To break Bowden, to make him pay, to make him beg for mercy. 14 years was a long time to let the hatred fester and grow, a long time to plan, to perfect every detail of his revenge, a long time to hate, to let the anger shape him into a weapon. And now, it was time to collect. Time to unleash the fury that had been building for 14 long years. Bowden's life was good, too good. He was a successful lawyer with a beautiful wife and a loving daughter. They were the picture of happiness, a family that seemed to have it all. But in the shadows, Cady watched them, a predator stalking his prey, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. He saw the laughter in their eyes, the joy that radiated from their every interaction. The joy in their smiles was like a dagger to his heart. It fueled his rage, a burning fire that consumed him. They didn't deserve to be happy, not while he suffered. His anger was a storm, brewing and growing with each passing day. He started slowly, subtly. A dark figure at the edge of their vision, a fleeting shadow that disappeared as quickly as it appeared. A dark figure at the edge of their vision, always just out of reach. A whisper of his name in the wind, a chilling reminder that he was always there. A feeling of unease that settled over their perfect life like a dark cloud that refused to lift. Bowden thought he was imagining things. He tried to shake off the feeling to convince himself it was all in his head. But fear has a way of seeping into the cracks of your mind, of taking root and growing until it consumes you. Then came the dog, their beloved family pet, dead, poisoned. A gruesome message that shattered their sense of security. A warning. Cady was here, and he wasn't playing anymore. The game had turned deadly, and he wasn't playing anymore. The fear turned to panic. The fear turned to panic. The once happy family was now living in constant terror. The laughter died in their throats, replaced by gasps of shock and fear. They were living in a nightmare, a twisted reality where every shadow held a threat. And it was only just beginning. Cady enjoyed their fear. He savored it, relished in their terror. It was the first taste of his revenge. And he was hungry for more. The darkness within him demanded it. And he was hungry for more. The darkness within him demanded it. The shadow of vengeance had only just begun to cast its pall over Bowden's life. The police were useless, powerless to stop him. Cady was a phantom, a nightmare they couldn't catch. Bowden felt helpless, unable to protect his family. The law, his shield, felt paper-thin, useless against the raw terror that Cady embodied. Lori, Bowden's wife, was strong, but even her strength was cracking under the strain. The constant fear was taking its toll. She couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, couldn't escape the feeling of eyes watching their every move. They were prisoners in their own home, trapped by their own fear. Then came the attack. Brutal, savage. Cady, disguised as a handyman, cornered Lori in their own home. He beat her, violated her, left her broken and bleeding, a message, a cruel parody of Bowden's impotence. He could protect nothing, no one. Cady had tasted blood, and he wanted more. Cady was clever, too clever. He knew the law inside and out. He used it as a weapon, to taunt Bowden, to torment him. He filed lawsuits, harassment charges, restraining orders, twisting the law into a mockery of justice, turning Bowden's world upside down. Every victory, no matter how small, fueled Cady's rage. His eyes burned brighter, his smile wider, more manic. He was winning, and he was enjoying every minute of it. He was a puppet master, and Bowden was his puppet, dancing to his tune. Bowden was trapped, bound by the very laws he had sworn to uphold. Cady had turned his world into a prison of fear, a prison of despair, and there was no escape, not anymore. The hunter had become the hunted. Section 5. A daughter's innocence, a father's fear. Danny, his daughter, his precious Danny. She was Cady's next target, his masterpiece. He knew how much she meant to Bowden, knew it would break him. He befriended her, pretended to be someone he wasn't. A friend, a confidant, a predator in sheep's clothing. Danny was drawn to him, to his charisma, his danger. She was young, naive. She didn't see the evil lurking beneath the surface, the evil that Bowden knew was there, the evil that haunted his every waking moment. The fear was a living thing now. It consumed Bowden, drove him to the edge. He couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, couldn't think straight. All he could see was Cady's face, hear his voice, feel his presence. Everywhere he turned, Cady was there. Cady was winning. Bowden knew he had to do something. Anything. But his hands were tied. The law, his only weapon, had been turned against him. He was out of options. Out of time. He had one chance left, to fight fire with fire, to break the law to save his family. He hired a private investigator, a man who lived in the shadows, a man who could operate outside the law. They tracked down Cady, found him with Danny, but it was a trap. Cady was always one step ahead. He had planned for this. Cady escaped with Danny. He was taking her away, to his world, a world of darkness and pain. Bowden was devastated. He had failed again, failed to protect his family, failed to stop the monster he had unleashed. There was only one thing left to do. The houseboat, Cady's lair. A storm raged outside, mirroring the tempest in Bowden's soul. He had tracked Cady down. He was alone, no law, no rules, just him and Cady, and the storm. The air crackled with tension, with fear, with hate. Bowden could feel Cady's eyes on him, mocking him, daring him. He had to be strong, for Danny, for his family. He had to end this, once and for all. Cady was waiting for him, a cruel smile playing on his lips. He had Danny. She was tied up, gagged, terrified. Her eyes widened in fear as she saw her father. Bowden felt a surge of rage, a primal need to protect his daughter, to destroy the man who had hurt her. The storm raged on. The fight was brutal, savage, fueled by years of pain and rage. Bowden fought like a man possessed. He had nothing left to lose, except Danny. Cady fought back with the fury of a cornered animal, wild and unpredictable. The houseboat rocked and swayed in the storm, threatening to break apart. Waves crashed against the hull, the wind howled like a banshee. The world outside was chaos, and inside, two men were locked in a battle to the death. Bowden felt a surge of adrenaline. He had Cady pinned down, his hands were around his throat. He could feel the life draining out of him. Cady's eyes bulged, his face turned purple. He was drowning, drowning in the storm, drowning in Bowden's rage. And then it was over. The storm passed. The winds that howled and the rain that lashed out had finally ceased. The sky, once a canvas of chaos, began to clear, revealing the aftermath of nature's fury, leaving behind a silence that was deafening. The streets, once bustling with life, now lay empty and still, as if holding their breath. Bowden stood over Cady's body, his chest heaving, his hands shaking. He had won, but at what cost? He looked at Danny, his heart heavy with the weight of what had transpired. She was safe, alive. The relief was palpable, but so was the exhaustion. The ordeal had taken its toll on her young spirit. But her eyes were vacant. The spark that once danced in them was now replaced by a haunting emptiness, haunted by the terror she had witnessed. They went home, each step heavy with the memories of the nightmare they had endured. But it wasn't home anymore. The familiar walls now seemed foreign, shadows lurking in every corner. It was a place of shadows and memories. They were together, but they were broken. The bond that once held them strong now felt fragile, forever changed by the ordeal. The weight of their experience etched into their faces, a constant reminder of the darkness they had faced. Cady's words echoed in Bowden's mind, the chilling promise of a never-ending torment. You think this is over? It'll never be over. The words reverberated, a sinister whisper that gnawed at his sanity. "I'll be in your dreams, in your nightmares." He was right, Cady might be gone, but the fear remained. It clung to Bowden like a shadow, ever present and unyielding, a constant reminder of the darkness that lurked beneath the surface of their lives. Every creak, every whisper of the wind, sent shivers down their spines. The silence was broken only by the sound of their own breathing. Each inhale and exhale a testament to their survival, each breath a reminder of their survival and their loss. The air was thick with unspoken words, the weight of their shared trauma hanging heavy in the room. They had made it through the storm, but the scars it left behind would take a lifetime to heal, together yet forever changed.